Yeah, the last time I gave Dragon Ball a full run was when I was younger, and I think it might be worth a revisit. But like what we're talking about with Vegeta, I feel like if I did see it again, I feel like it'd be a little bit more substantial than what it was before, because now I kind of got like a bigger grasp of like what it means to like kind of be a father, I guess.
I have no idea, but I understand that.
But you got sisters and stuff, man. Like you got like younger siblings. You're the oldest
for my family, man. Like,
yeah. You're the oldest of the siblings, so of course you even if you don't think, you do have an understanding of this. So I think you know what it means to kind of like put yourself up as like the fucking the martyr, as far as like being able to make that ultimate sacrifice in order to secure the well-being of the other members.
Yeah, man. You gotta, when you're, especially for me, as an older brother, my family means a lot to me. So, like, Vegeta being a dad, having finally some kind of connection, because he lost everything. He lost his entire race of people. He lost his planet. He lost his throne. He lost his father, and he almost lost his name. But, you know, it's Vegeta. He's holding on to that dearly.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I feel Vegeta's a deeper character than Goku. Goku is like, he's the positive light in the room. He's the rainbow that opens up in a group of people.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's dope.
Yeah.
But then you got a more edgy character like Vegeta.
Yeah.
But who has a reason for his edginess.
Exactly. Like, he's a victim of circumstance.
He's also an egomaniac. Yeah.
I think that also lies in the victim of circumstance, because even when his race was like fucking destroyed, he's like, I have to carry on that title. And I think he always kind of recites the, I'm Prince of Saiyans, because he never got to be the king. The king doesn't exist anymore. And he still kind of carries upon like that royalty. It's like if you're like the last royalty, as far as like a generation, like you kind of have to bear that burden. At least if you have some sense of nobility.
I mean,
it's not necessary. Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like, Goku is stronger than Vegeta.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And that's because of the power of the pen. They have to make him the slightly better option. Like, but Vegeta has proven himself time and time again. And if you really want to be honest about it, he's still the prince, or he's still the king.
Yeah.
And no longer a prince, because he now bears a seed. There are now enough Saiyans to be like a small village. Honestly, each one of those Saiyans, they could probably own the majority of a solar system if they all wanted to. They
actually could. Because the only person who was actually, as far as like contests go, would be like fucking Frieza, but he's like way out of the picture. But I don't think that's that's not their goal though.
Yeah, I mean that's not their goal. But I'm saying that they're very powerful beings, and Vegeta is the last remnants of their hierarchy.
Yeah.
And now he is Trunks, who's stronger than Goten, an equal of his generation.
But you know what's weird and fucked up that they never fucking revisited? Was the fact that it's been mentioned, even in the Saiyan saga, that human Saiyan hybrids have more potential strength than actual, like, pure-blooded Saiyans.
And that's probably due to the human spirit itself, giving a little nod to that,
Yeah, I agree with that. What's her name? Lunch? She was a superhuman.
She was superhuman? Is that why she, like, literally transformed?
Yeah. That was a transformation. Like, Akira Toriyama, like, he went in and, like, he had, like, an interview or some stuff, and he more or less, like, canonized the fact that the reason why Lunch, like, her hair turns blonde and she actually becomes, like, more aggressive and becomes more, like, standout character is because she's actually, like, a superhuman. Yeah. Which is interesting, right? Which kind of like changes. It gives you a little bit of perspective on things, right?
See, that makes sense though, because in their world they had dinosaur people, wolf dog people, cat people.
Yeah. The president of Earth is a dog. Don't forget.
Yeah, to say they have aliens too. Like, we have aliens, of course, but we don't acknowledge them on that scale. Like, no one was freaked out when they found out. Or did anyone ever find out Goku? Like, who the fuck Goku was?
Only his circle.
Only his somehow this amazing superhuman of a being in a world where they have media and news and obviously have like advanced technology. Never figured out like, hey, there's a group of superhumans flying around and doing shit.
But you know, I feel like the world, the answer for that is that the world is actually exciting in itself. Because it's like, they still have fucking dinosaurs walking Earth. Because, you know, God knows how many times a fucking person has went camping and they got fucking eaten by dinosaurs. So, you know, like, it wasn't until like maybe, the big things that they actually shown that got broadcast on the news as far as the anime goes was, King Piccolo taking over the Earth. Because he actually did some fucked up shit. Like, he actually would do, something like a bingo as far as like continents. So he's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do a bingo, and whatever continent it lands on, I'm gonna fuck that place up, and y'all just gonna have to deal with that.
Oh man,
yeah, like,
must have been booming.
Yeah, man, like it seriously happened. And the other thing that got broadcasted was maybe like the Saiyan saga. I don't remember Red Ribbon. That was like a big thing, Dragon Ball. But what I do remember most definitely is
Dr. Gero.
No. I was just gonna say, like, as far as like things that they televised as far as Dragon Ball goes was Piccolo taking over the Earth, the Saiyans showing up, fucking up shit, and Cell. Those are like the top 3 as far as I know. I don't think Majin Buu, like, nobody with a camera ever came up to Majin Buu, so that's why I'm excluding that. But I know, like, for a fact, like, for the Cell tournament, like, there's a dude's like, hey, who are you? It's like, oh, I'm Perfect Cell, and I'm...
Oh, yeah, he was like, and I'm organizing a tournament. Yeah, 3 days.
This is only directed towards, like, 7 people who can actually go, you know, who can actually stand up to me.
Here's another thing. Like, the people in the Dragon Ball universe, they've died before, and they must be aware of it. Because, like, Goku's people, when they die and they come back, it's not like they forgot. They don't forget that they died. Everybody in the world has at least been killed by Super Buu, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And many of those people probably have already died many times over from other world catastrophes.
But you know, it's Dragon Ball, like, as far as Dragon Ball goes, death kind of really becomes inconsequential because of Dragon Balls. Because even, like, as they go on, like, they kind of just stop giving a fuck as far as people go. Like, Cell, he, like, fucking wipes out, like, you remember they had, like, a privatized military, or, like, a military shows up during the Cell tournament, and Cell, more or less, he kind of, like, snaps his finger, he pulls a Thanos and fucking wipes the motherfuckers out of existence, and Goku's like, we'll just use the Dragon Balls after we win.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, if you were like, if you were like somebody who was just standing by, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, I'm missing my dad or my mom, my uncle. My uncle was there. He fought this bug man. Bug man snapped his fingers and he got wiped out of existence.
But then, like,
you know,
no one knows Goku and his group. Like, they don't know the Z fighters like we do.
They don't.
Like, we know that all the shit that's going on in the universe because of them. They're like, oh yeah, I think I remember seeing that guy when Hercule beat the people. Like,
yeah, Hercule was a weird scenario. He got fucking lucky, man. That's what you call being at the right place at the right time. AKA a la via, the domino effect. He was there just the right amount of circumstances for him to get publicity and fame for saving the planet and eternal gratitude as far as compensation and all that other stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. But,
I mean, shit. That's crazy, though. It's an insane little concept right there. Like, the people know that they die. They stop caring.
You know, that actually... I guess my mind kind of jumps towards the end of the Buu saga when everybody kind of gets wiped out. But they finally use Dragon Balls to bring everybody back to life. And everybody's like, oh yeah, whoa, I thought like, people kind of like, I thought everything ended. And they're like, kind of like going about their lives. And Vegeta's like, he speaks to everybody through King Kai and he's like, yo, y'all just died. And we need y'all to do a favor for us because we just wished y'all back to life via the Dragon Balls. And people were like, who the fuck? Even though everybody's simultaneously having Vegeta's voice broadcast through the head, they're still kind of like a little bit skeptical. Which is fucking insane, right?
It's so out of our concept, our mental concept.
Yeah, but I do kind of feel like that kind of like does the one time Akira Toriyama's brilliance actually shows as far as like the human nature that we're willing to turn down stuff as far as the truth, even if it's boldly displayed in front of us.
People will see a man walk on water and say it's because he cannot swim.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like everybody's like, yo, man, I thought I just died. Like, I saw a fire and now I'm just walking around. And people, then they get a voice in your head like, yo, man, we need you to hold your hand up because we just brought you back to life. That little fire you just saw was like not an illusion. Like, Earth got destroyed. And right now we are fighting for the sake of the universe. We need you to hold your hand above your head. That's all you have to do. Everybody in the world is being told this. Everybody in the world.
Yeah.
And people are like, fuck that shit. Like, like I don't see anybody else holding their hand, so I may as well not hold my hand, which kind of falls under fucking mob mentality.
People will think that I'm the crazy one because I'm doing it. But here's the thing. The world has been changed by who? The crazy people. Everybody. Jesus was considered a crazy person by the Romans.
But you know, everything that's like not the ordinary, I feel like every age has like a limit. Maybe not like a limit of statutations as far as like the norm goes. And I feel like at every age that we do end up reaching bronze, stone, or whatever, it's like you have this norm of just people who are just willing to be complacent, and then that weird group of freaking scientists and other people who are willing to kind of like break the norm and other like further humanity, you know?
You got those people who are worried about those things as well as like say politics or religion and all these other things. This has been history.
Yeah.
This is human nature to do these things. And the balance comes from whatever we find harmonious as a society, what we all just agree on.
Yeah.
As far as moral compass ideas.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But when it comes to like the paranormal, we don't accept that anymore. So like if something like King Kai talked to us all now in real life, our equivalent of King Kai, our son, or our God or whatever you wanna call on, you feel me? Or you feel will call on you. That is something we don't accept.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 people would honestly be like if that shit was going on right now, mind you, we fucking blew up the earth and you didn't know anything, like no fucking televised events, like it wasn't shown in the news, it was just something that happened in maybe like a fucking third world country and you just barely got a glimpse of it on the news and the next thing everything got wiped out, you got brought back and you got this voice broadcasting, hold your arm above your head. Please. And then you looked at, and if I looked at you, it was like, hey man, you hear that thing in your head? It was like, yeah. And told me to hold my hand above my head. If you looked around and you looked outside and saw everybody else just kind of looking like maybe they got the same message, but they weren't holding their hand above your head, you probably wouldn't hold your hand above your head.
It would take something like the Rick and Morty scene where the giants' heads came down. It's like, show me what you got.
Show me what you got. Yeah.
But if he had started giving out specific instructions to everybody at the same time mentally, think about how scary that would have been.
Yeah.
We need like visual proof as well as auditory proof, even though it's going to be that.
Yeah, and it's maybe because there's maybe a lack of knowledge, but I know it kind of falls under fucking seeing is believing and believing half of what you hear. Yeah, because I mean, like, yeah, it's like if a giant head like showed up and you saw like freaking the sky turn red. And you looked on the news, and the newsman's like, yeah, the sky's fucking red. There's a giant head in the sky. You'd be like, yeah, man, maybe I should hold my hand above my head.
Oh, they didn't believe it until Hercule came on. He was like, it's the people's champ.
It's Hercule. The people's champ.
They was like, oh my God, it's Hercule. We can trust him.
Yeah. But okay, now this is really off tangent. Like, I'm really going off the deep end. But who do you think would be the people's champ as far as the modern day equivalents of Hercule? Like, who do you think? What celebrity, what person of status do you think would garner the same attention and the repertoire as Hercule to the point that he would be able to convince people to do that one thing, hold their hand above their head? Because I got an idea. I can tell you who I think would be able to do it. And that's The Rock. It would probably
be like,
Yeah, I think if you heard The Rock saying, get off your candy ass. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? If I heard fucking The Rock, Dwayne Johnson in my head right now, I'd be like, yeah, man, I'm fucking hold my hand above my head.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I feel it. Oh, go ahead, Rock.
Yeah.
We feel you, man. Wasn't he like, man, he was like really one of my childhood heroes watching WWF growing up.
He really was.
It was pretty dope.
He really was. And I think it was really like the charisma. And that really kind of like separates like a lot of WS celebrities. And I could get into that because I still kind of keep up with wrestling. Not all the way. Even like some of my close friends are like big wrestling fans. Because it's entertaining, man. Like it's a good reprieve from like, you know, the everyday. You get your daily dose of human violence in addition to a narrative. As fucked up as it is. Cause
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'd rather go and I kind of wish that there was like Fight Club. I wish that was a thing.
There is. Yeah, there's like a fucking app you can download called like fucking Fight Me, I believe, if I remember correctly. I mean, I knew a dude who was like into like MMA. He's like, yeah, man, you can fucking fight me, and they give you a location. You fucking meet up, and fight whoever the fuck.
Awesome. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I would schedule like ring bouts though. Gloves, you know.
Yeah, but you know, there's also like you probably go to the gym and probably get your if you want to get that out your system.
Yeah. The thing is, like I know me, like I've fought a lot as an adolescent and stuff like that, and I don't know how to pull my punches, but I love fighting.
It's understandable, and I think because of the circumstances I went through personally, like for instance, I think I told you before, like, but I can't play fight.
Yeah,
and I'm at that weird. I'm in a really weird state, and thank God, like I'm a lot older now because it's like people are less likely to kind of like do that kind of like, you know, rough and stuff thing, you know, and I don't have to deal with like, you know, somebody walking in like my brother or something or like a cousin and he just like fucking punches me because it's like, you know what I'm talking about though, because like everybody's kind of going, like at least if you're a guy, like you're going through that at one point in time. So it's like, cause I've always been, it's been weird for me, man. Cause it's like you got the fight or flight response, but I lie somewhere in the middle and there's fight or flight, but I feel like there's like a weird, like that's as straightforward as they say it is. But I feel like there's even like an area beyond that, like somewhere along the lines, maybe even like fucking survival instinct where it's like, regardless of fight or flight, you will do whatever it is necessary, regardless of what happens to you, to get out of that situation. And I think that's where I'm at.
The moment of action, the call to action, basically.
Yeah,
like something has to be done.
Pretty much, and I feel like that's where I'm at. So it's like even with family, cause it's like just because I've just been through like a lot of fucking just strenuous shit. So it's like with things when that I have to tell people like yeah man, yeah. Well, not anymore because, you know, I'm goddamn near like fucking beyond that age where people just look at me like a fucking kid and they think like, you know, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you a long
understand what you want or you don't understand this because you're young. You haven't experienced these things.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would just say more along the lines, I look like a somewhat respectable adult. So enough to the point where people aren't willing to, you know, try that shenanigans.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, to be honest, bro, I feel like there's a lot of prejudice on both ends of the age gap. Because it's like, the way society works is they value you as long as you're useful. This society.
That's true.
The capitalistic society.
That's true.
And they know that they make their most money off of who? Retirees, but they get their most money from people who...
The youth.
You know?
Yeah.
So, here's how it works. You're a kid, you don't know anything, you can't make no money, you have to learn everything, we have to teach you everything, nothing that you say is supposed to matter. You're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, until you're ready to retire, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you're an adult, you're a working class adult, this is when we view you as useful. But as soon as you hit like 70, 80, you're like...
useless.
That's what they call you. Yeah, like you've been through the whole ringer. Like you could teach the next generation, put them ahead of me. You know, instead of repeating the same shit.
Yeah, and I don't know what you just said. Would you say that maybe somewhere along the way you say? I'm sorry. What I was about to say was like, would you say that pretty much like a lot of as far as like stereotypically in society, at least in America, that maybe what it is that like is this weird situation where people don't consider you an adult until you understand that you're a cog in the machine, and until you gain that awareness that you aren't really doing adult things, you know?
Yeah. Like they want you to be working constantly to pay back the debt that you owe them. Because the way things work are like you get a car, a lot of people lease cars, you're paying them.
Yeah.
And then you get a house, a lot of people lease their houses. And you're paying, or they buy them, but they buy them with borrowed money, so you're paying them back. And then that's called a mortgage, which just means a till death kind of tax, you know. Mm. It's crazy. It's a lot of shit.
It is crazy because even if you don't go that route, it's still like you still aren't indoctrinated until you do kind of garner some kind of debt. Until you like owe somebody, it's like you still aren't kind of at that. You aren't acknowledged, you know, even as far as like jobs, because it's like you gotta have there's like a lot of jobs, at least the high profile jobs require like a credit report, so
you gotta get into debt so that you make money for them, so that you can then borrow more money from them
it's fucking
and
crazy,
then make
right?
more money for them.
It's fucking crazy, right? Yeah. But geez, man, it's funny. Like, I think, what were we talking about? We talking about like freaking Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, the debt story. The debt movie.
Debt. That's the most depressing thing, though. But let's go back to freaking DBZ. Like, fucking Piccolo. They saying that he's Goku's dad. Gohan's dad?
He is.
He's not.
He is, man.
I disagree. I strongly disagree, and I'll tell you why. Because just because a nigga plays step pappy does not make that nigga his biological father.
He's not his biological father, but you gotta admit, man, even like during those like earlier years, because I think Gohan might have been like 4 or 6 when the Raditz showed up. And Goku had died at that point, and the person who decided to take it upon himself to train Gohan to be ready for the end of the fucking earth was Piccolo. And he trained Gohan for maybe about like a year or a half. He looked after him on all that stuff. And it was really just him and Gohan. Like literally, Piccolo was like, look man, I'm going to teach you the very basic essentials so you can be a viable candidate to protect this planet. Like I need you to at least work at the bare minimum so that we all can stay alive. Like
bare minimum. He threw him at a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, but he's still. But you know, even after all of that, he's like, yeah, he's got potential, but he's still not gonna beat me. So it's like, you know, like
that's because the way that Piccolo was at the time was Piccolo was stepping in to a kid who just saw his dad get killed. You know what I mean? And he killed him. So he's probably got some kind of child psychosis going on, like the killer of my dad is supposed to be training me. If he beat my dad, even though my dad sacrificed his life to do it, you know, I can't beat him.
But you know,
it was like a stunt, like maybe a psychological stunt in growth.
But you know, Gohan didn't harbor any resentment because even like when they were like sparring, when finally Gohan had finally transitioned that he finally got into that place where Piccolo can actually go hands on and like, yeah. You're finally at the place where I can actually apply actual technique to you personally and you won't fucking die. Gohan was like, at one point, Piccolo like shot eye lasers at him and Piccolo's like, you alright, kid? And then Gohan looked at him and was like, yeah, I'm okay. It hurt and it sucked. But you know, one thing my dad told me about you, and Piccolo's like, what? You know, Piccolo still kind of had to keep that role as aggressor because he didn't want Gohan getting too comfortable because otherwise he'd lose his edge and he wouldn't take the training seriously. And he's like, what's that, kid? And Gohan was like, my dad told me that ever since you got like freaking reborn or whatever, you're not as evil as you were before. He says you're not as mean as you were before. And I think Piccolo, like in the anime, he's like, And it's kind of like openly expressed that what Piccolo took that as is that he wasn't a threat, and I think even Piccolo realized that Piccolo wasn't a threat, considering the fact that he was training that the greatest rival in his life, the murderer of his child. He is training his child. He's training his child. The person who murdered, the son of the person who murdered his father. His greatest rival ever in existence. He is training his child. He's taking care of him. He's feeding him. He's making sure that he's fed. He's making sure that he's well fed. He's making sure that he's dressed. He's making sure that he's not dead. And he's teaching him how to fight. So by that notion, am I evil? Is the question that Piccolo would have to ask himself.
Well, yeah, that's great. That was great. Well spoken. Let me give you props for that first off. So, kudos. Good argument. But I feel the argument was more geared towards, is Piccolo now a good guy? Versus whether or not the reason why Gohan wasn't ready by the time he left was because... Wait, was he ready when he left Piccolo? Or did he have to go through some more shit?
No. It still kind of fell under that. Like, it's like, because it's not enough time. Like, Goku, he, like, harnessed, like, he was a martial artist since, like, pretty much, like, birth. And even, like, when their fucking rivalry fucking started and he got reborn, Goku was probably, like, the age maybe, like, 16, 18 at the time. So, like, Gohan, he's still, like, young. Like, he hasn't...
He's half Saiyan, though.
No, not even that. Like, he hasn't experienced battle. As far as fighting goes, the only thing he'd ever done as far as a fight up to that point with an actual, like, competent opponent, somebody who can rationalize and defend themselves, was that he charged head first into Raditz' stomach and he, like, did that little blow. But that, like, that doesn't constitute, like, a warrior's experience.
Okay. Yeah. So, I will say this. Piccolo did turn out to be important in Gohan's life. He's a very important father-type figure.
Wait. Can I have one thing? Just one thing, and I'm going to stop talking.
Okay.
I was going to say, to answer your original question, because I feel like I kind of like went around the side. I feel like when the question got brought up that whether or not Piccolo was a good or a bad guy, I feel like that kind of got thrown out the window when he came to Goku for help and Raditz showed up.
See, that's the thing. Like, I'm not concerned on whether he was a good guy or a bad guy. I'm just saying he wasn't that nigga's daddy. Like, he was a father figure, but Goku still raised that kid, like, when he could. Then he died, and then he came back. And you have to remember, Goku is a Saiyan. Vegeta understands this, and he had to explain this to Gohan. Mm-hmm. I believe he said in the recent Super Series. Like, recently in the Super Series.
But
he's like, your dad does... He's basically saying, like, yo, man, your dad loves you. He's just a Saiyan. You gotta understand. Like, basically saying that Saiyans are born warriors, and they're born to fight. So even when he was a kid, like... He's a pure blood Saiyan. He isn't human. He doesn't have that human element to him that makes him want to reach for more. He's born fighting.
But no. But they do have the element that makes them want to reach for more, as far as like just fighting, though.
Yeah. Of course. That's part of their character. Man.
Yeah, but to touch on to that,
like,
as far
not
as like,
every Saiyan has that.
Yeah, man. But as far as like, I'd add Vegeta to that, but I'll get to that in a second. But as far as like touching on maybe like the Piccolo as the father thing, the father figure, I feel like it's been a lot of examples in the series, right? And I'm kind of jumping ahead before I like really illustrate my points. But maybe like for instance, when the Cell Saga came and Goku had stopped out the game, Goku and Gohan had finished their training. They stepped out the hyperbolic time chamber and they were getting ready to gear up and fight Cell. Gohan, if you remember, he went up to Piccolo and he's like, "Can you make me some clothes?" And Piccolo said, "Yeah, I can make you some clothes. You want an orange jumpsuit like your fucking stanky ass daddy?" And Gohan said, "No, Mr. Piccolo, I want clothes like yours." And I feel like that was like a really substantial moment to kind of cement that, And I guess to kind of like further build upon that, when you really think about it, that Piccolo was actually like Gohan's like first. I was his first master.
Yeah. As a sensei.
Yeah, and I think what's really fucked up though is that how much they in the manga they actually kind of go back, like they're in the world tournament, the universal tournament, right? In the Dragon Ball Super manga, and actually like you know how in the anime Gohan's like wearing like Goku's outfit. In the manga, Gohan's wearing Piccolo's outfit. So this was it, which is really interesting, which I think they should have did. And what I really do think is that what things I would like to see, for instance, that I've always wanted to see is Gohan use Piccolo's other techniques,
like special beam cannon.
The special beam cannon, for instance.
Yeah.
Why hasn't Gohan used a special beam cannon?
I do not know, man. I feel like he should just be able to do it. If you look at Super, all the techniques are like copyable just by doing the hand motions.
Goku's whole arsenal is just skills and techniques that he's gotten from other people besides Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan's the only original technique that Goku has in his whole arsenal.
And Vegeta did it better now.
Yeah. Vegeta kind of like he's kind of gotten past that threshold. But still, man, like I think I like at least in my honest opinion, as far as like the narrative goes, I would love, and I think everybody would be fucking flabbergasted, and it would just deserve all kinds of just love to see Gohan be in a situation where he actually just used the fucking special beam cannon,
or like the thing where Piccolo sits out the orbs and they surround the person. He
scatter shot, all that, man. Anything besides maybe the Masenko, because Masenko, like, I don't recall I could probably look it up, but I don't recall Piccolo ever really using that technique. He probably used it in Dragon Ball, but I know for a fact he never used it in Z.
Huh. That might be true. Because
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him use it much either.
Yeah, I remember Light Grenade. Like, I remember all the other shit. I remember fucking Fusion. I especially remember Special Beam Cannon. I remember the fucking scatter shot. And the big moment, the pivotal moment with that was when he was fighting against freaking, what was it? 17?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But no.
17 was badass. She fucked up Vegeta's arm, and he ain't been right since.
18.
18. Yeah, 18.
It's funny. I actually got that. I stay messing that up, but I had a friend. Like, we recently had a discussion. Actually, not recently, but it was a while back. But we had a discussion, and he more or less said that the number 8, something along the lines of being like a feminine number. And while we were talking about that, he's like, yeah, man, like, you stay messing this up. And what I do is to remember it. I remember that 18 is like a feminine number. I don't have any, like, I never delved into it. You might have some insight to that.
I was going to say something more along the lines of, for me, I look at it and say, hey, she's 18.
I was expecting so much more, man. I was expecting the earth to be moved.
Oh, no, man.
Oh, man.
That's just how I try to remember. I know I messed
Fair
up,
enough.
but usually it's like, she's 18.
Yeah, she's 18, man. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I can dig it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's 18 was hard. She got turned into a human, had a baby by Krillin, the strongest man in the world.
The strongest. And you know, it's funny because it's like, as much as I want to debate that, man, because I feel like Tien has put the most work as far as Earthlings, despite the fact that he has a third eye. He's put the most work in. Look at them fucking shoulders, man.
He's a whole sensei out here.
Yeah.
But Krillin may have died a lot, but he's also had the most battle experience.
But you know what it is, though, right?
And in a world where you come back, that's valuable.
You know what really separates them, though, right? Is the reason why Krillin is the strongest, because I looked up other theories and other kinds of bullshit, but the reason why Krillin is the strongest person on Earth and why Tien will never ever reach Krillin's level is because Krillin went to Namek.
Huh?
Yeah. He got the power up. He got his potential unlocked from Guru.
Oh, yeah, he did.
So that's what separates him from everybody else on Earth. That's why Yamcha and Tien and anybody fucking else on fucking Earth, besides Devilman, Devilman, if you don't know anything about Devilman, I can get to that in a second.
I know Devilman has the instant kill move.
Yeah. If you got evil in your heart, you just fucking die.
Yeah.
Where the fuck you been at, Devilman?
Devilman, you should have been here.
Yeah, you should have been in the fucking Universal Tournament arc besides, instead of fucking Krillin or Master Roshi.
You could have stopped Majin Buu like that.
Yeah.
Could have stopped freaking Babidi.
Yeah.
Cell. Frieza. Everybody could have been done if Devilman showed up to work.
Devilman, man. Fucking slacking, man. Fucking,
oh, man. That's the original Dragon Ball for your ass right there.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
Man, that's some classic shit.
Yeah.
But because of that, because Krillin's potential was unlocked.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know. I just assumed it was because Krillin was just like everywhere. They always brought Krillin.
A little bit. I mean, technically, because it's like he came and he's been hanging with the group the entire time. So it's like if you had like met somebody and you've been friends for 7 years and like you had this friend who was just like a millionaire and somehow you just found yourself like you wake up one day and you're fucking successful in the mansion and it's like, oh yeah, I hung around that one guy who was a millionaire and I guess like I hung around other people around him and I just got rich.
Yeah.
Because of association, you know, you had no choice. If you're gonna freaking hang around, like you just,
it would shock, but it would kind of shock some Dragon Ball Z fans still to see Krillin fight Hercule, you know, and just dominate him. Like if Krillin didn't take it easy on him,
I don't think it would be that surprising. Like if you fight again, Hercule doesn't. Like he's even. How much do you know about Street Fighter?
Huh. No.